Just remember that I have had the attention span of a mosquito and a grapefruit and an elephant and an oak tree, and in each of those facets and moments it was as wide and as unknown and as solely known as the ocean. So when you're thinking what you're thinking about your existence, make sure it's kindness. Because it's a lot deeper than even the perspective or the perception of where you're able to see right now. If you can take a moment to be like, I'm on this spiritual journey, or I'm just a human, which you're not, to say, you need to be doing this. I think you, and if you are taking a moment to project that you think somebody else external and the government, get your autonomy. If the government's doing this, do you like this program? Gain your autonomy forward in yourself. If you are autonomous forward in yourself, you get to live a life, because while that thing exists, unless you're breaking their laws, it's not affecting you in much ways. And that sounds really messed up. And then actually, no, it doesn't. Because we are in this life of scream and holler when your response to every situation is how you get to assist you in moving past conditionings. And it's my job to remember to do full body breaths, and it was my job to remember to re-nourish myself and reprogram my breath, because no matter what your baby, your energy is energy. And for 9 months you were breathing, for me, I don't think the baby was on drugs while she had me. But I was breathing like somebody who was a neurodivergent, magical being who grew up not knowing about ancestors, or what they knew about ancestors was taught conditionings that got them in a space where they couldn't even accept themselves because their family members didn't accept them, and then they ended up having children at a very young age, not even being able to feed the baby when the baby would ask, because the distractions of wanting to satiate the sexual human experience was more important in that moment type vibe. And that's okay, because I've experienced that, and I'm grateful for her, and I forgive her, and I just get to nourish myself past this. But this is why we get to learn about breath work and what works for us. And nobody can claim a breath work technique, even though we do. I love that. Breath is breath, and there are certain things that are innate to all of us and innate to our innate internal intuitive blueprint and guidance system, that when you need a spark of a radiance, there's an experience that your soul set up in some facet, something that you've chosen, that you will be able to choose with your free will, as your soul had set up a meeting with some other external infinite being, so you could grow past that, so you could learn that. So I met this one person at one point who was like, osmosis. They believed in osmosis, of learning skills and tools. And while I might not care for what much of, and it's so funny because there's people watching, and I use divination tools, and you cannot allow who and what you are for you to mask because somebody doesn't accept you for something. When they binge watch the soap operas and believe, or watch Cleo. You know what I'm saying? So once you let go of the judgments and projections of yourself, can't nobody judge and project you. And when they do, you are able to hold space and give them kindness and compassion, because baby, I've been there. I definitely have done that. But being mean to you is me being mean to myself, and I don't deserve, and the wind's blowing, but you saw how magic's magic, man. And if you believe that science exists, then you can believe that magic exists. And if you don't believe that magic exists, well, then you're not allowing yourself to fully expand into the multifaceted, multidimensional, eternally limitless soul that you are. I read the other day, an infinite being had stated that your creativity, your infinite creativity, is pretty much what the post said to me, is your infinite creativity is not magic. I apologize to your soul essence and your imagination and your child inside of you, in every facet of you, in 74-year young you, 15-year young you, that you think that you don't have any magic inside of you, and yet nobody can tell us exactly how we came here. Everybody and their mama can say. We even have this beauty-filled bull or Bible that gives us a whole bunch of stories that says, I created you perfectly in my image. Oh, you started using your free will? I'm going to drown all you motherfuckers. And I'm going to let you kill my son. And I'm going to say turn the other cheek, because that's how that's supposed to be. And for me, the Noah story since I was a child was always like, how can you make me know that I'm going to be this magnificent being that I am? And then I realized now that that's a story of the deities. And while it's okay, it's one of the many stories here in this space. And I don't have to absorb that, because I know that the infinite creators that created us all, androgynous energies, infinite actual Akashic records, Earth, Gaia, nature, and the energy of the creator that created us all. No gender roles, no telling you that your kids are born in sin and you need to blah, 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 and you gotta follow this form of conditioning and dogmatic taught blah, blah to get here, and you gotta do this to do that. Like, they made us all one in infinity. And that's why that story never stuck with me. And also, for me here, we have the infinite beings that are like, you need, they'll be like, God is a woman and blah, blah, blah. And that's fine. Gods, deities, gods and deities are gods or goddesses. And so when you allow you to expand past everything you think you know, you get to see more, and you just get to see the misinformation, and you'll gain it and absorb it on accident, and you'll realize that it's a tool again, and you will let it go. And I have to go in because I don't do cigarette smoke. Okay, good. I was like, please go. I stopped smoking in 2019, and I didn't give a fuck either, people around me. And we know the secondhand smoke kills just the same as the first. It is what it is. And you might have perfect health now. I hope that you keep casting that spell, but you're choosing to consume death. Literally. It says that it'll kill you on the package. So how long do you think that'll last? But being able to tap into your magic, I saw something, and I've come through the most horrendous forms of psychosis, and I want to say something, and yet I know that it's not lost on me. And I will just think, you're psychic. If you would accept facets of yourself that you are loving with those taught conditionings, then maybe you stop having so many batches of psychosis. Once I remembered to express myself, them telling me I was depressed, it was really just them putting me in a box. I wasn't able to exist as I was innately made to. An infinite being the other day said, oh, projects. You got so many projects. No, that's blasphemy. They're called innate creativity, and I call it things I'm birthing into creation. And I've done the logic behind it, and it's because it doesn't resonate with my soul. And the words are very disassociative of my innate creativity. No, it's not because it's just disassociative. It's for an actual reason. If you look up these definitions, these things don't fit for me. And so when I was a child, I was told, you have ADHD, because they wanted to put this star, we are shaped like a star. If you don't move your arms when you lay down in the snow to make the snow angel, what is it? It's a star. Okay, anyway, they wanted to cut my tips off and put me in a box, and they were able to put me in a box for a very long time. The first way was not just meth. There was a whole bunch of other ones I was on before then. But literally, Adderall, you test positive for methamphetamines, and we're giving our children this. When an adult sees me and they say, you have so many things that you can do, and I don't make time for myself like I want to, so I'm going to say, you have so many projects, I don't know how you make time. When what they're doing is choosing to not make time. Anyway, I loved playing in the wind and the divination tools. Just remember that there's energy around us. And if your grandma didn't give a crap about you while they were here, or even kind of did, but they were chronically not taking care of themselves. How are they giving you advice from beyond the grave? You're being played.